Listen, we're not talking about some random budget brands here. We're talking about the absolute titans of the automotive world. Toyota, Mercedes, BMW, Lexus, Porsche, Honda, the names that built empires on engineering excellence. But here's the million-dollar question. Which of their legends can you actually trust to outlive modern cars? Your neighbor's brand new luxury sedan might have massage seats and ambient lighting, but will it survive past the warranty? Probably not. Today, we're counting down one bulletproof machine from each of the world's greatest brands. Cars so over-engineered, they might genuinely outlive their owners. These 12 legends from the industry's absolute best, they refuse to die. Let's find out why. Number 12. Land Rover Discovery 2, 1999 to 2004. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Land Rover on a reliability list? Has this guy completely lost his mind? Hear me out here. While modern Land Rovers have the electrical reliability of a carnival ride operated by a sleep-deprived teenager, the Discovery 2 is the unexpected black sheep that actually holds up, if you know what you're doing and stay on top of maintenance. Built during the tail end of BMW's ownership, these genuinely rugged SUVs came equipped with either the solid 4.0-liter V8 producing 188 horsepower or the torquey 2.5-liter TD5 diesel in international markets. Sure, the V8 had its head gasket issues, and yes, the electrics could throw tantrums worthy of a toddler denied candy. But here's the thing. Owners who stayed on top of preventive maintenance report 200,000 plus miles regularly without major drama. The chassis? Galvanized steel that laughs at rust like it's personally offended by oxidation. The drivetrain? Old school tough with actual low-range gearing that'll pull you through apocalypse-level terrain that would strand modern luxury SUVs. You'll find decent examples for $5,000 to $12,000, and unlike its Range Rover cousins that require selling kidneys for repairs, parts won't require a second mortgage or questioning your life choices. The Discovery 2 represents that rare moment when Land Rover actually built something owners could fix in their own driveways without computer science degrees. And surprisingly, this British bruiser isn't even the most bulletproof vehicle on this countdown from the world's best. Number 11. Audi A4 B5, 1996 to 2001. Before Audi became synonymous with endless electronic gremlins, impossibly complex all-wheel drive nightmares, and repair bills resembling mortgage payments, they built the B5 A4, a surprisingly robust executive sedan that established Audi's modern design language and actually lasted beyond the warranty period without bankrupting owners. The secret weapon hiding under that sophisticated hood, the 1.8T engine, a turbocharged four-cylinder masterpiece that tuners and daily commuters alike fell madly in love with, making 150 to 170 horsepower stock and easily modifiable to 250 plus for the adventurous. These engines routinely hit 250,000 plus miles when the timing belt was changed religiously every 60,000 miles without negotiation. Pair that bulletproof Turbo 4 with Audi's legendary Quattro all-wheel drive system, and you've got yourself a compact luxury sedan that handles brutal Minnesota winters better than most modern SUVs while looking significantly cooler. Sure, there are quirks that'll test your patience. The door lock actuators fail with comedic predictability worthy of a sitcom. Window regulators gave up easier than most New Year's resolutions. But the core mechanicals? Rock-solid German engineering. The 2.8-liter V6 variant offered more power and smoother delivery, but added complexity. Stick with the 1.8T for maximum durability and tunability. Clean examples now run $3,000 to $8,000, making them an absolute steal for anyone wanting premium German engineering without modern Audi's wallet-draining repair bills. But wait until you see what classic American workhorse muscle sits at number 10. Number 10. Ford Crown Victoria, 1992 to 2011. There's a very specific reason police departments, taxi fleets, and slightly paranoid conspiracy theorists all loved the exact same car for decades. The Crown Victoria wasn't just reliable in the traditional sense, it was industrially reliable. Built on Ford's ancient Panther platform that dated back to the 1970s, these body-on-frame sedans legitimately laughed at modern concepts like planned obsolescence and scheduled replacement. Under that imposing hood sat the legendary 4.6-liter modular Vive 8, producing a modest but adequate 224 to 239 horsepower depending on year, and whether you scored the civilian version or the police interceptor variant with upgraded cooling and suspension. These engines regularly sailed past 300,000 miles like it was absolutely nothing special. Transmission: the 4R75W 4-speed automatic was deliberately overbuilt for brutal 24/7 taxi duty. Suspension: simple, durable, agricultural, and dirt cheap to replace with parts from literally any auto parts store in North America. Real-world stories: taxi operators routinely documented 500,000 plus miles on completely original drivetrains without major overhauls. Police cruisers endured brutal all-day idling, high-speed pursuits, curb jumping, and general mechanical abuse that would absolutely kill modern cars in mere months, yet they kept running year after year. Parts availability: walk into any auto parts store in America and they'll have Crown Vic parts gathering dust in the back, because these things simply never break down. You can grab one for $2,000 to $6,000 now, and surprisingly, an old Japanese sedan from a legendary brand might actually be even more reliable. Number 9. Nissan Maxima, 1995 to 1999, 4th generation. Remember when Nissan boldly called the Maxima a four-door sports car in their advertising campaigns and actually meant it instead of just throwing marketing buzzwords at the wall? The 4th generation Maxima backed up that audacious claim with one of the most bulletproof, smooth, powerful powertrains Japan ever created during their golden engineering era. The absolute heart of this legend? The VQ30DE, a 3.0-liter V6 engine producing a healthy 190 horsepower and wrapped in Nissan's legendary reliability engineering and obsessive quality control. This engine became so trusted and proven that Nissan used variations of it for over 2 decades across their entire lineup. Owners regularly report 300,000 to 400,000 miles with nothing more than regular oil changes, timing belt replacements every 105,000 miles, and basic maintenance any competent home mechanic can handle. The 5-speed manual transmission option, yes, they actually offered a stick shift, added genuine driving engagement most luxury sedans completely abandoned decades ago in favor of numb automatics. But here's what made the Maxima genuinely special beyond just reliability. It drove like a proper sports sedan while refusing to die like a boring Camry. Independent rear suspension delivered handling dynamics that legitimately embarrassed contemporary BMWs, costing twice as much. The interior, though definitely showing its age now, featured Nissan's peak ergonomics period. Everything fell naturally to hand without searching. Finding a clean, low-mile example for $3,000 to $7,000 is still possible if you hunt patiently, but the Germans had a 6-cylinder answer to Japan's reliability play, and it's waiting at number 8. Number 8. BMW E39 5 Series, 1996 to 2003. Before BMWs tragically became rolling subscription services with heated seats locked behind monthly paywalls and iDrive systems more confusing than quantum physics, they built the E39 5 Series, widely considered by enthusiasts and automotive journalists as the absolute pinnacle of the ultimate driving machine philosophy. And shockingly for a German luxury car, these actually hold up mechanically when properly maintained. The undisputed star of the show, the M54 inline-6 engine, particularly the 2.5-liter and 3.0-liter variants, producing 184 to 225 horsepower with that legendary BMW smoothness. These silky-smooth straight-six engines featured BMW's finest engineering, dual vanos, variable valve timing, individual throttle bodies for each cylinder, and an almost supernatural appetite for racking up high mileage without complaint. Well-maintained examples routinely exceed 250,000 to 300,000 miles, with original engines and transmissions still running strong. The absolutely critical keyword: well-maintained. BMW's cooling systems need proactive attention every 60,000 miles, and foolishly ignoring the comprehensive inspection services is an expensive mistake you'll only make once. But here's exactly why enthusiasts still obsess over the E39 2 decades later. It perfectly balanced refined comfort and engaging driver feedback. The steering offered actual road feel. The chassis rewarded skilled drivers without punishing passengers. The interior featured real wood trim, quality leather, and build-quality modern BMWs completely forgot about. Avoid the V8 models. Budget $5,000 to $15,000 for clean six-cylinder examples. But what if you want BMW reliability with genuine all-weather capability? Number 7 has you covered. Number 7, Subaru Legacy Outback, 1995 to 1999. Before Subarus became the official vehicle of Portland coffee shops, yoga studios, and outdoorsy Instagram influencers with Patagonia sponsorships, they built simple, genuinely rugged, legitimately reliable machines without any pretense or lifestyle marketing nonsense. The second-generation Legacy and Outback represent peak Subaru philosophy, before catastrophic head gasket issues plagued later EJ25 models. These earlier cars were the machines that built the brand's sterling reliability reputation. The proven workhorse, EJ22 2.2-liter, naturally aspirated, Boxer 4 engine produced a modest 135 horsepower. Not impressive on paper, certainly not winning any drag races, but it's the engine's absolutely legendary durability that matters here. Owners routinely report 250,000 to 350,000 miles on completely original engines without rebuilds or major repairs. The naturally aspirated design intelligently avoided the turbo complexity and heat issues of later WRX performance models. Subaru's brilliant symmetrical all-wheel drive system provided genuine all-weather capability that made these cars beloved heroes in snowbelt states and rural mountain areas where winter actually means something. Real-world documented story. There's a famous 1996 Outback with 555,000 miles on the original engine and transmission, owned by a traveling pharmaceutical salesman who simply changed the oil religiously and drove carefully. That's not luck or coincidence, that's deliberate engineering excellence. The interior's admittedly pretty basic and utilitarian, the styling's aged about as well as milk left in summer heat. Clean examples run $3,000 to $8,000, making them genuinely excellent value. But if you want true tank-like construction, the Swedish had something special cooking at number 6. Number 6, Volvo 240, 1974 to 1993. There's a very specific reason you still see Volvo 240s prowling city streets and highway lanes 30-plus years after production mercifully ended. These Swedish tanks were legitimately over-engineered to survive nuclear winter scenarios. Volvo didn't just build them to last a reasonable lifetime, they built them like each individual car was personally offended by the modern concept of planned obsolescence. The reliable workhorse B230F 2.3-liter inline-4 engine produced just 114 to 134 horsepower, depending on specific year and market, not winning races, but power output was never the point here. This engine's cast-iron block construction and deliberately conservative engineering design delivered reliability that embarrassed more powerful, prestigious competitors charging triple the price. Owners routinely accumulate 300,000 to 500,000 plus miles with nothing beyond basic maintenance schedules. The overdrive-equipped 4-speed automatic transmission was admittedly slow, but virtually indestructible. Want manual? The M46 and M47 transmissions are equally bulletproof and surprisingly enjoyable, but the 240's real party trick beyond the engine? The body construction. Galvanized steel throughout meant rust. The ultimate killer of most 1980s cars barely touched these Volvos even in brutal salt belt climates. The boxy styling hasn't aged particularly well aesthetically, resembling a refrigerator on wheels, but who genuinely cares when the car outlives its original owner? Revolutionary safety features included crumple zones, reinforced passenger cells, and comprehensive crash testing that set new industry standards. $2,000 to $5,000 buys tired examples. $8,000 to $15,000 gets nice ones. But German luxury engineering had a sports car answer to Swedish durability, and it's legendary. Number 5, Porsche 911, 1989 to 1998. Most entries on this countdown are reliable and affordable for working-class budgets. The air-cooled Porsche 911, specifically the 964 generation and 993 generation, is reliable and expensive. But here's exactly why it belongs on this list of automotive legends. These represent some of the most durable, longest-lasting sports cars humanity ever engineered, and they're appreciating financial assets you can actually drive and enjoy. The legendary air-cooled flat-six engine ranged from 3.6 liters to 3.8 liters displacement, producing 247 to 282 horsepower in naturally aspirated forms, significantly more in turbo variants. Unlike modern turbocharged, water-cooled complexity requiring computer diagnostics, these engines were mechanically straightforward and rebuildable. Regular preventive maintenance keeps them running for 200,000 plus miles. And unlike modern exotic supercars, high mileage doesn't destroy values. It's expected and celebrated. The chassis, gearbox, suspension, and brakes are all engineered to Porsche's obsessive perfectionist standards that bordered on military grade. Why are they genuine investments? Air-cooled 911S represent the definitive end of an era, the last naturally aspirated, hydraulic steering, analog, driver-focused 911S, before modern emissions regulations and technology complicated everything. Values have climbed from affordable used sports cars in the 2000s to six-figure collectibles today. A 964 Carrera II that sold for $25,000 in 2010 now fetches $80,000 to $150,000. The 993 commands even more. Budget $75,000 to $200,000 plus, depending on model, condition, and history. But if you want German overengineering without Porsche prices, number 4 is calling your name. Number 4, Mercedes-Benz W124 E-Class, 1985 to 1995. When Mercedes-Benz engineers sat down to design the W124 E-Class in the early 1980s, they apparently decided good enough was completely unacceptable and borderline insulting. These cars featured fully galvanized bodies, satisfying self-closing doors that shut with bank vault authority, wiring harnesses wrapped in biodegradable insulation. Okay, that particular choice backfired spectacularly, and build quality so excessive it legitimately embarrassed Mercedes' own modern offerings. The engine lineup included everything from frugal economy diesels to stonking V8 performance engines, but the sweet spot is the M103 and M104 inline-six gasoline engines, particularly the 3.0-liter 12-valve and 3.2-liter 24-valve variants, producing 188 to 220 horsepower with legendary smoothness. These inline-six engines routinely achieve 300,000 to 500,000 plus miles with proper maintenance schedules followed religiously. The diesel variants, especially the virtually indestructible OM603 3.0-liter inline-six diesel, are legitimately unstoppable, with documented examples exceeding 900,000 miles on original engine blocks. Real-world legend? There's a documented 1988 E-Class taxi in Germany that passed 1.8 million miles on its original engine with regular maintenance. The W124's body integrity remains genuinely impressive decades later thanks to that comprehensive galvanized steel construction preventing rust. Clean examples run $8,000 to $25,000 depending on condition and model. Find a well-maintained diesel variant and you've got transportation outliving your mortgage. But the Japanese had a luxury answer to German engineering, and it might be even more reliable. Number 3, Honda Accord, 1990 to 1997. While European luxury brands fought expensive marketing wars over who could add more unnecessary gadgets, Honda quietly perfected the art of building a car that simply would not break down under any circumstances. The 4th generation, 1990 to 1993, and 5th generation, 1994 to 1997, Accords represent peak Honda engineering philosophy. Before they got boring and appliance-like, these were genuinely engaging family sedans that happened to last literally forever. The proven F22 2.2-liter inline-4 engine produced a respectable 125 to 145 horsepower, while the optional H22 2.2-liter VTEC in the Accord EX delivered 145 to 150 horsepower, with Honda's legendary variable valve timing technology creating that signature high RPM surge. These engines are so ridiculously reliable that 300,000 to 500,000 miles isn't exceptional or noteworthy. It's genuinely expected among Honda enthusiast communities and owner forums. The 5-speed manual transmission added genuine driver involvement most modern Accords completely abandoned in favor of efficiency. The real magic? Everything worked perfectly. The air conditioning kept blowing ice-cold air 2 decades later. Power windows never quit operating. The manual rack and pinion steering provided actual feedback. Modern electric systems completely erased. These Accords didn't just last mechanically. They remained genuinely pleasant to drive for hundreds of thousands of miles without feeling worn out. Sure, the clear coat peeled like bad sunburn, and automatic transmissions needed regular fluid changes. Clean examples sell for $3,000 to $8,000, honestly insulting given their capability. But Lexus took Honda's reliability formula and wrapped it in true luxury at number 2. Number 2. Lexus LS400, 1990 to 2000. When Lexus launched the LS400 in 1990, they didn't just challenge Mercedes-Benz and BMW in the luxury market, they completely embarrassed them on reliability, refinement, and value. Here was a flagship luxury sedan that matched German prestige while offering Japanese reliability and attention to detail. 35 years later, these cars still run like brand new, which is significantly more than anyone can say about any contemporary German competition. The magnificent one, UZ FE 4.0-liter V8 engine, produced 250 to 290 horsepower, depending on generation, wrapped in Toyota's legendary overengineering philosophy. This all-aluminum engine featured dual overhead cams, 32 valves, variable valve timing, and manufacturing build tolerances tighter than Swiss watchmaking. Real-world result? 300,000 to 500,000 plus miles is completely normal and expected. There's a documented 2007 LS400, technically LS430, same generation, with 900,000 miles used as a rideshare vehicle in Los Angeles. The original owner just kept driving it religiously, and it kept working flawlessly. But the LS400's genius wasn't just reliability. It was refined, whisper-quiet, buttery smooth reliability. The chassis delivered Mercedes-like ride quality. The interior featured genuine leather, real wood trim, and attention to detail putting contemporaries to shame. Everything from climate control to power seats simply worked, and continued working decades later when German rivals became electrical nightmares. $5,000 to $15,000 buys you one of history's greatest luxury sedans, and the most indestructible vehicle ever built, that's waiting at number 1. Number 1, Toyota Land Cruiser, 1990 to 2007. There's reliable, there's extremely reliable, and then there's the Toyota Land Cruiser, a vehicle so absurdly over-engineered that it's become the preferred transportation of choice for everyone from United Nations peacekeepers in active war zones to Australian Outback explorers covering thousands of brutal miles without seeing pavement or civilization for weeks. The 80 Series, 1990 to 1997, featured the legendary one FZ FE 4.5-liter inline-6 engine, producing 212 to 232 horsepower. Not impressive on paper, certainly, but wrapped in Toyota's most legendary reliability engineering. The 100 Series, 1998 to 2007, upgraded to the 2 UZFE 4.7-liter V8 with 230 to 288 horsepower, offering significantly more power while maintaining that bulletproof durability. These engines routinely achieve 300,000 to 500,000 plus miles as a baseline expectation among owners. High mileage examples with 600,000 to 800,000 miles are documented and still running perfectly. But here's what makes the Land Cruiser truly special. It's not just the engine, it's the entire vehicle philosophy. The full-time four-wheel drive system with locking differentials, the body-on-frame construction that laughs at abuse, the galvanized steel body resisting rust. Every component, from power steering pumps to alternators, is overbuilt to survive conditions that would kill lesser vehicles in days. Real-world legend? There are Land Cruisers in Africa, the Middle East, and Australia with millions of accumulated miles across multiple multiple owners, still serving as daily transportation. War correspondents trust their lives to these machines. Why? Because when breaking down means dying in the desert, you drive a Land Cruiser. Clean examples of the 80 series run between $15,000 and $40,000, while the later 100 series commands $20,000 to $60,000 and climbing. And they're appreciating rapidly because the market finally understands what enthusiasts have known for decades. These are the most reliable vehicles humanity ever created. So there you have it, 12 bulletproof machines from the world's greatest automotive brands, proving that when engineers care about longevity over quarterly profits, they build legends that refuse to die. From Ford's humble Crown Vic to Toyota's unkillable Land Cruiser, these are the cars that'll outlast the dealerships that sold them. Now, if you loved discovering these reliable legends, you need to watch 12 old luxury cars you can buy cheap but keep forever, because I'm revealing which premium machines you can grab for used Camry money and drive for decades. Click that video right now and let's keep this automotive deep dive going. Thanks for watching.